Welcome to our global news bulletin, bringing you the latest developments and breaking stories from around the world. Stay tuned for real-time updates on major events. And now, let's begin with the top headlines. Let's start our segment with the latest developments in the Middle East. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and Jordan's King Abdullah II reaffirmed their unified stance on implementing the Gaza ceasefire agreement and initiating reconstruction efforts without displacing Palestinians. In Sudan, the government announced an agreement with Russia to establish a naval base on the Red Sea, raising international concerns about regional security. Meanwhile, UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan discussed with Iraqi President Abdul Latif Jamal Rashid ways to enhance cooperation in development and renewable energy. In Syria, the transitional government reiterated its commitment to restoring international relations and lifting economic sanctions to improve living conditions. At the same time, Egypt and Qatar continue their intensive efforts to salvage the Gaza ceasefire amid Israeli threats of renewed military escalation. Israel has requested to extend the presence of its forces in 5 locations in southern Lebanon until February 28th, despite the ceasefire agreement setting the withdrawal date for January 26th. Meanwhile, the United States rejected the extension request and reaffirmed its commitment to the February 18th deadline for the Israeli forces' withdrawal. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi will not visit Washington if the agenda includes U.S. President Donald Trump's plan to displace Palestinians from Gaza. Sisi reaffirmed Egypt's commitment to the two-state solution and its rejection of any attempts to relocate Palestinians, considering it a threat to Egypt's national security. Let's take a look at the most significant current events around the world. German police are investigating a ramming incident in Munich, where a 24-year-old Afghan asylum seeker drove into a group of people, injuring 28, some critically. Authorities are treating the incident as a suspected attack, and the suspect was apprehended after police fired at his vehicle. U.S. President Donald Trump is working to restore relations with his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, following a phone call where he expressed his desire to work closely to end the war in Ukraine. This marks a significant shift in U.S. policy toward Russia, as Putin had been internationally isolated since the 2022 invasion of Ukraine. The terms of negotiation remain unclear, but Russia insists on keeping the territories it seized and preventing Ukraine from joining NATO. Following U.S. President Donald Trump's decision to allow TikTok usage despite a law mandating its sale or ban, unofficial downloads of the app have surged in the U.S. through sideloading and third-party app stores. Users are also turning to VPN services to bypass restrictions, making enforcement of the ban increasingly difficult. While Apple warns of security risks, TikTok remains accessible due to presidential assurances that the law will not be enforced. Google has blocked reviews for the Gulf of America after renaming the Gulf of Mexico for U.S. users, following an executive order from President Donald Trump. The change sparked criticism, with Google accused of deleting negative reviews and censoring content. While the company stated it enforces policies to prevent review abuse, Mexico formally requested that the name remain unchanged. Other companies, including Apple, have also adopted the new name. Australia has accused China of an unsafe and unprofessional act after a Chinese J-16 fighter jet released flares in front of an Australian P-8A surveillance aircraft over the South China Sea. While Australia expressed concerns to China, Beijing responded by claiming the Australian plane intruded into its airspace and that its response was legitimate and professional. This incident is part of a series of military encounters between the two nations, as Australia rejects China's territorial claims and emphasizes the importance of freedom of navigation under international law. As global tensions and developments continue to unfold, political and economic challenges remain at the forefront of international attention. Stay tuned for more updates on these evolving issues as we bring you in-depth analysis and breaking news from the heart of the events. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel and stay updated.